Foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, glory to the Most High. In the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai the Christ. I'm your brother, Captain Messiah. Welcome to another TOC Sabbath Day class. For those of you that's watching online right now, we want to say happy Sabbath Day. We know some of you are in the different time zones, whether your Sabbath Day has passed or it's underway. We say shalom to you and your families. We're so happy that you could join us today. So happy. We know you got questions. We got answers. But, of course, you know, we got to get into the class. So just save your questions till... If you could make it to the end of the class, I could trust you. If you can't make it to the end of the class, then, hey, man, I don't know. I got to prove you a little more. All praises. So, we're going to get into it. Today's class is called The Loyal Few. The loyal few in a world of deception. Again, the loyal few in a world of deception. Or you could just shorten it to the loyal few. Yes? The loyal few in a world of deception. Now, this is what we got to understand about loyalty. Loyalty doesn't actually exist in abundance today. Loyalty is very minimal. You're not going to find it overflowing in abundance. It's very scarce. It's like a scarce commodity that you got to look high, you got to look low. And even when you look high and low, you still just can't seem to find the loyalty that even the Bible describes. Right? But yet we still try to make sure that you as an individual, whatever you can't find, you be. I'm going to say that again. Whatever you cannot find, you have to be. What does that mean? That means literally, if you're looking around and saying, I don't have no good friends, ask yourself this question. Are you a good friend? Do you have the qualities of a good friend? Because what you might be looking for, you may be exempting from yourself. You may be saying, I can't find one good brother, one good sister, nowhere. But then, do you have the qualities? But then, the loyal few. It's only a few. And that's why Christ said when he come back, it's not going to be a lot of persons that actually get this thing right. So don't look for the abundance. Don't look for the overflow. Don't be like, Cap, we only got couple brothers, we ain't growing, what's happening? Listen, you know how many people Christ taught at one point in time? Like simultaneously. How many of the multitude did Christ teach? How many people did he brought into the truth at any one given time? Who could throw some numbers at me? When I say he spoke to the multitude and this amount of people got saved in that day, or they repented and they came into the truth that same day. You're talking about numbers up to 5,000. Thousands, right? See? Auntie got it. She got it right. Auntie got it. Thousands. So thousands came into the truth at any given one point in time when the Messiah was teaching. He spoke with authority. But then thousands dwindled down to 12? If that was some of y'all would have said, but Christ, you ain't really know what you're doing. We had 5,000 men. He boiled down to 12. I heard one young cat say to me, well, Cap, all these guys leaving. What do you think? You think you're doing something wrong? That brother, he's not seasoned in the truth. Christ didn't look around and was like, wait, I brought 5,000 men into the truth. He only boiled down to 12 now. 12 loyal men. And guess what? Even out of those 12, some of those men were not loyal at all. What did Judas do? Judas sold out for what? Coins, money. What did Peter do? Peter left the truth. He left the truth. He denied Christ when they asked him, hey, do you know a gentleman by the name of Jesus Christ? He was like, Jesus, who? Jesus. I know Jason. I know Jezreel. But Jesus, who is this? Who is this? Christ told him, you're going to deny me 3 times. And he said, nay, I will not. I will stick with you till the end. See, y'all's got to watch them brothers, Soldier Gabar. Right? They come in with a speed. And you hear them say things like, I'm never going to leave the truth ever. Watch them. They're going to be the first ones to leave. Peter left the truth, but all praises to the Most High, he came back to the truth. He left the truth, but he came back. In that moment, he left the truth. You had thousands that Yahweh Shai the Christ taught. And what happened? They left the truth. They left. Some of them got doubts, fears. They left. Boiled down to 12 men that he could work with. And out of the 12, some of those men, among the 12, you had men who had doubts. How many of you know that a lot of the disciples, they doubted Christ? They couldn't even believe like what he was teaching, like, because you're too young in the truth. Because when you come into the truth, you think you know it all. And you literally have to stop and cool. And I guess that's why sometimes Christ would just be quiet and let them talk. The disciples just there talking. You think this or you think that. He would just sit there and just watch them talk till he showed them a real life example that you don't know what you're talking about. And even when he broke down stuff for them, Gabar, they was like scratching their head like, what do you mean I'm going to deny you? Even at the table, they were having Passover. He knew one of y'all going to sell me out. Everybody started to watch everybody. Who you think it's going to be? You think it's going to be him? Or the one who knew in his heart, he was looking around like, y'all think it's going to be Peter? Y'all think it's going to be Mark? Y'all think it's going to be? So it shows you, when it comes to loyalty, it's not abundant. Because even among 12 men, the numbers dwindle down even quicker. I'm teaching y'all young brothers a lesson. Do not look for numbers when it comes to the loyal few. Keep telling brothers. The prophecy says 2/3 of the Israelites will be destroyed. Stop being carnal and thinking, okay, well, we had some brothers last year and they left. Well, what think something wrong with the ministry? No, something is wrong with your immaturity because you do not understand what Christ went through. You thought Christ went in a corner and be like, oh my gosh, 4,998 men left. We down to what are we gonna do? By golly, Peter, what are we gonna do? No, he used the men that were left, taught them, and they went on to do other works. Because he knew that loyalty is like a needle in a haystack. You're not going to find it. All right? Let's get the first scripture. Philippians 2 and verse 13. Write down these scriptures. This is going to help you brothers to understand when these questions come up in your mind. What are we doing, Cap? We only get down to 5 men. What? These scriptures are going to help you to understand what's happening in the truth. All right? Good. The loyal few. Philippians 2 verse 13.
Ready from the book of Philippians chapter 2 and verse 13. For it is God's work which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
So you come into this truth. It's God's. It says it is God which worketh in you. All right? So the Most High started a work in you when you come into this truth to do his good pleasure. His good pleasure is that you come into this truth and you stay loyal to the truth. You stay loyal to the brotherhood. You stay loyal to your family, meaning you in this truth. It says, who's my mother, who's my father? Those who do the will of the Father. Okay, good. Read on.
Verse 14. Do all things without murmuring and disputing.
So do all things without murmurings and disputings, meaning that as a body, you got to learn how to function doing things without murmurings and disputings. Why? Because what happened in the wilderness when they murmured? They died. That's what happened. They died. You don't want that to be your result as a congregation. So don't murmur. There's a way. Listen, if you have a difference or a difference of opinion, there's a way to resolve it. How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you resolve something that you see something differently to someone else? You do it like an adult. You talk it over. Don't go to another person and be like, oh, you know what this brother did? Let me tell you what he did. I felt so offended. Don't do that. Go to the person and the person alone. That's Matthew 18. There's a way to resolve things. But I don't know. It seemed like when we come into this truth and we learn Matthew 18, everybody forgets it. And I mean everybody. If I could tell you the amount of times I've had to resolve disputes where somebody said something and the other person didn't like it and they went to somebody else and told them instead. If I had a coin, I wouldn't. Listen, I could just retire now and go live on an island somewhere. All right? Matthew 18 is that simple, but we tend to forget, right? We forget because you're in your what? Emotions. You're in your feelings. You feel hurt. You want someone to be right with you. You totally go against Matthew 18. Read on. So do things without murmurings and disputings. Read on.
Verse 15. That ye may be blameless and harmless.
So that you may be what?
Blameless and harmless.
So if you murmur and you have disputings, you're not blameless and you're causing harm. Everyone gets it? You're causing harm when you do not Matthew 18 something. You're causing more harm than good. Who can tell me how you cause harm when you murmur and you dispute? Who can tell me how you cause harm? Because now you're getting other people wrapped up in your mess, your gossip, your slander, your emotions. When all you had to do was what? Soldier Gabar, all you had to do was what? If you have a difference of opinion with somebody, you pull them over to the side and let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. In 3 minutes, problem solved. Y'all back to good again. Y'all drinking wine. Y'all happy. Y'all at the new moon. Y'all dancing. Y'all good. Everything is good. But you cause harm and now you have a blame on you. Who's blaming you now? The Most High and your brothers as well. So you got two blames against you. Read on.
The sons of God without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
See the problem here? The reason why there's no loyalty is because today's generation is a what? A crooked and a perverse generation. What does that mean? No one has any loyalty anymore. Everyone is loyal to their own what? Needs, wants, their own way of doing things. Everyone is loyal to what they want. Everyone is loyal to what they think they want to see or what they want to want. We good there? All right, so everyone is just loyal to what they want. No one is actually loyal to a cause. No one is actually, let me just wait until we can verify, make sure we're good. All right. If there's anyone in the comments section, you could verify for me if we're good. We're good? Okay, good. We're good. Good. All right, so no one is actually loyal to a cause anymore. And therefore, you cannot find men who are going to be loyal to the Most High. Because we got a crooked and perverse nation. Did it say a crooked and perverse set of people gathering? No, it says nation. You know what nation mean? The whole of the people is crooked. So, in that nation, you're only going to find what? A few. Stop looking for the abundance. Stop looking for thousands of loyal men and women. You're not going to find it. But you can become that. Whatever you can't find, you become. Listen, if I had a coin for every time I heard a brother say, well, my dad treated me like crap when I was growing up, so that would cause me to be, listen, if your father treated you like crap, your mother treated you like crap, what should you do when you become grown? Be the thing that they were not to you. Be the good father or the good mother that they were not to you. What do you mean? You're going to continue the curse? You're going to continue it? No, let it stop with you. But usually when people see, oh, nobody loyal around here, I'm just going to fit in. I'm just going to get in where I fit in. I'm just going to be like the rest. Nobody loyal, so I can't trust nobody. Nobody loyal, so I can't. That's the dumbest thing you could do. That's a one-way ticket to the lake. I can't trust nobody. Listen, that's the weakest thing a man could do, Soldier Gabar. You ever hear these people like in the streets that talk? Don't trust nobody. Don't trust. No, I'm not. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying trust everybody. I'm saying to trust no one is stupid and idiotic. It's a weak emotion. Why is it weak? Because not trusting anyone means you erase yourself from brotherhood. And even when you do come in a brotherhood, you're watching everybody like this. Him, I can't trust him. You, I can't trust you. You, I can't trust you. You know why they're saying that? Because they can't trust themselves. They really can't trust themselves. So they put it on they project it on everyone. But the scriptures say, woe to him that is alone. Why? Why is it this? Now, for those of you at home, woe means destruction. Who could tell me? One of the men. Why is it destruction if you're alone? It says, woe unto him. Let's come this way. Let's start from soldier, come back this way. Why is it destruction if you're alone? If you find yourself alone in life, you have no one. Why is that a destruction? Okay, break it down. Give me a real life scenario. Car tire burst. You have nobody to. So in your day of trouble, you have no one to call. Okay. No bus running, right. So you don't have no one to call. You can't call anyone. You're alone. You could die. That is true. Absolutely true. And it says, woe unto him that is alone. So this mentality of, I can't trust nobody, that's a personal issue that you have with yourself. But Cap, there's people out here that's doing wicked things. Yes, there is. But when you come into this truth, it teaches you how to separate the sheep from the goat. But the problem is you don't want to take the risk because you think you might get burned. We'll get into that. And even then, that's still a weak emotion. Because I don't see nobody going into business talking about, well, what if I fail? What if you do it? And if you fail, what do? You learn from it and you move on. Well, I'm not going to go into business because I just don't know. On the river, on the bank, do I do it? Do I? Not making a decision is still making a decision. Always remember that. Not making a decision is still making a decision. Good. Read on. Crooked and perverse nation.
Among whom ye shine as light in the world.
So you're supposed to shine as a light in this world. You're supposed to show men that they're men that can be trusted. You're not supposed to be out here talking about, yeah, you're right, bro. You really can't trust nobody out here. You know what that means? That means they can't trust you neither. That's what you're saying. You can't trust me neither. If you're going to join with people saying, hey, man, there ain't got nobody you could trust, man. No, you have to be better men. Be better men. So that you can be a light that shines in the world. A world of darkness, a deceptive world, you be that light. So they see, there are women we could trust, there's men we can trust. There's men that take care of their of their wives, and there's women that love their husbands. They adore their husbands. They submit to their husbands. Be those persons. Don't join in with the world and say, yeah, you're right. Ain't nobody we can trust. We can't trust nobody. I mean, you included in that. Read on.
Verse 16. Holding forth the word of life.
The word of life. So what teaches you loyalty is the scriptures, the word of life. Read on.
That I may rejoice in the day of Christ, that I have not run in vain, neither labor in vain.
Because Paul taught men how to be better men. And so that his work didn't go in vain, apply what you're learning in this truth. Don't just hear these classes, go home and then be the same Negro in the world. Don't do that. You know how many times we had a class and then class finished and I hear brothers repeating the same thing that was taught in the class that goes against what they're saying. I'm like, yo, did you remember anything from the class? So we tell brothers to take notes. Because it would be like laboring in vain. And like I said last week, just add all the things that I'm teaching to the brothers to a filing cabinet named Things That Captain Mosiah Has Taught That Nobody Listens to. Hey, Gabar, could we get a filing cabinet like that? I need that. I need to put it right here and just put a label on it. Things that Cap has taught that no one listens to. This is like you're laboring in vain, right? But we're showing you there's things you can apply so that you can be the kind of person that the Most High wants. Read on. Wait, that's it on that? Labored in vain? Okay, good. Let's get the Apocrypha. The book of Sirach 37 and verse 1. Okay? The book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in the King James Bible Apocrypha, chapter 37 and verse 1.
Reading from the book of the Apocrypha, book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 37 and verse 1. Every friend saith, I am his friend also, but there is a friend which is only a friend in name.
So there's some friends, some companions. Some of them, they're in your life right now. They're there because you might have known them since school days. You might have known them, you know, in your adolescent stage. It says every friend said, I'm his friend also, right? But there's a friend who's only a friend in name, Be careful who you call friend. A friend is that person that's going to tell you, in the midst of your adversity, still keep God's commandments. Read on.
Verse 2. Is it not a grief unto death when a companion and friend is turned to an enemy?
Ooh. For some of you young brothers, y'all going to learn about this. When someone displays disloyalty and they turn their back on you or either the truth, you're going to feel it. It says, is it not a grief unto death? What is a grief unto death? It feels like a piece of you is being ripped out of your stomach. Why? Because someone did you so dirty, you couldn't believe that another human being could do such a decrepit thing to you. That it feels like you're going through what feels like death. Because this person, you had them where in your mind? You had them to be up here. Esteemed, a trusted friend, a loyal friend, a friend to the end, like Chucky, right? But in the end, you found out they were only a friend for their own what? Benefit, their own, whatever benefit it was. I'm not saying every benefit is monetary. Some people are just your friend because you stuck with them for, since childhood and they're just there. But in truth and in fact, they're not really a friend. They're only a friend in name. Right? Read on.
Verse 3. O wicked imagination, whence comest thou in to cover the earth with deceit?
This is the perfect precept to show you that, remember we learned earlier that it's the whole nation that's crooked and perverse? This precept is the perfect precept that matches that. Read it again.
O wicked imagination. When comest thou in to cover the earth with deceit?
So the wicked imagination that covers it's an allegory. It's like this. You had a friend. You thought they were with you till the end. You end up getting backstabbed, backbite. You hear the chat in your name. You hear the saying evil things about you. You hear them speaking lies about you. You thought, Like you were deceived into thinking that they were actually for you. You were deceived. That's why it says, oh wicked imagination who have deceived the whole. In other words, everyone at some point will have that person who they thought was in their corner, and it only turns out that they were not. This is an epidemic that covers the whole what? The whole earth, the whole nation, the whole everybody. Everyone experiences this at some point in time. By show of hands, who had a person in their past who you really thought this person was, I have them here in my heart, but then you either heard they said some unscrupulous things about you, they did you dirty, they did you wild behind your back, in your absence, you heard some things, and then you lost a little bit of respect, but then you chose to not, be around that person anymore. By show of hands, how many persons see, this is something that happens to everybody. But then you live and you learn. Don't let that turn you into a heartless person and be like, well, my imagination tricked me into thinking that this person was really for me, but they weren't. So now I'm going to turn into the most evilest, most dark-hearted person on earth. I will become Darth Vader. Don't do that. That's the weakest. Some people think that's the strongest thing. That's the weakest thing you can do. All right? Be a light in a world of darkness. Good. So, oh wicked imagination, you come into to cover the earth with deceit. Read on. Watch this.
Verse 4. There is a companion which rejoices in the prosperity of a friend, but in the time of trouble will be against him.
There's some people who, when things are good, things are up, they're with you and they, all is well. The moment you start going through some rough times, boy, they turn. You can't hear from them. You can't see them. You don't get a phone call. Some of them are your family members. When you cooking food, everybody come for a plate. The house bubbling, the house, people coming through and through the house, people outside. Hey, Sylvia, you got any food in there? Yes, I got food. Come for the food. The moment none of that happening, Sylvia don't get a call. She don't get a text. She don't get nobody checking. A week could pass. It's almost like the only how they come in is because Sylvia call him, because tell him come for the food. If Sylvia don't call and say come for the food, nobody check on Sylvia. Nobody even to see if she alive. This is our people for you. This is what the scripture is showing you. All right? We're showing you the depth of how many persons are actually loyal to their own what? Benefit. Their own benefit. Give me verse 5.
Verse 5. There is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly.
Now this is the other kind of companion that you want.
And taketh up the buckler against the enemy.
Good. So a good friend is like a tower against death. Meaning a good friend, they take up the buckler, meaning that the weapon that is an allegory that shows you a good friend is like a shield against death. Like when your hard times hit and you got a good friend and they go into it with you, that thing could actually extend your life. Because whereas you were thinking, listen, I'm going to just kill myself and die. But then that friend come and tell you, push on. So in life you got to stomach some things. That's what they're talking about for the belly. For the belly. There's some things that's going to happen in your life that you're going to have to stomach. Without a good friend, you don't have nobody to help you stomach it. There's some things you got to stomach. I remember some years ago when I was in the Christian church, good friend of mine, good associate, a lot of brother, like, well, I thought I did. We had our differences and, some things happened where, he kind of did some things that I thought was unscrupulous. Of course, you could imagine money was involved because we were doing some marketing and, some things went left. But his baby died. He had a newborn baby. And I know he had a lot of that baby. Because that was his firstborn ever. And that baby died in the first week. They call it sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS. And he was so close to me, I didn't even think twice. When the baby died, he had asked us to go by the funeral home where they took the baby. They wanted us to pray outside. I mean, we didn't know. We was just Christians in the world. Okay? When your spirit gone back to the Most High, gone back to the Most High, you can't. Unless you're divinely anointed. Okay? But I'll get into that in another class. But once the spirit go back, it go back. Unless the Most High want that spirit to come back, it ain't coming back. So we went outside that church. But I said to him that night, after he realized that baby ain't coming back. It ain't coming back. I felt it for him. I cried with him. I helped him to stomach it because he was having him and his wife were having a hard time bellying that on their own. So we helped to prop him up, and he appreciated that. And I tell him, listen, you don't have to go home tonight. You don't have to go home. You can come over by our house, and you and your wife can sleep in the spare room over there, because I know going back to the house tonight is going to make you feel a certain type of way, seeing that baby room still set up with the crib and all the, accoutrements, the baby accoutrements. It's going to be harder for you to stomach. So come sleep in my house, steady as long as you want. That's the kind of friend you need when you're going through the things that you're going to have to stomach in life. Y'all get the point? You're going to need that. If you don't have that, God knows what you're going to do. Some people feel like, I lose my child, I want to take my own life. If you don't have someone in your corner that can help you to stomach some things. Y'all heard about what happened in Guyana this week? They found the young girl laying face down in a pool, and the father of the child heard that his daughter got abducted. He went by the hotel, searched the whole grounds, couldn't find her. They couldn't find a trace, him and his whole family. Only for the morning after, which was like Thursday. This Thursday just gone. It's on the internet. Just look on Facebook. It's right there. Everybody's talking about it right now. They go back there the next morning, get a phone call. The girl is lying face down, 11-year-old girl. They abducted that child. And if you look on her hands, you look on her feet, there's scrapes, there's marks, there's wales, forehead gashed out. So God knows what they did to that young girl before she passed away. They kidnapped her, but they were hiding her in the hotel. This is what the suspicions are. Let me just say, allegedly. They're suspecting that they had her hiding in one of the rooms. And then when the mother came to the reception area to ask, have you seen the picture of this young girl? The receptionist laughed and snicker. So that says that she was in on something. When they showed the video, when the young man saw his daughter in the pool, now a whole crowd came there. They came there they wanted answers. They came there ready to riot. And I was supposed to call Soldiers of Car down in Guyana to ask him, what is happening in Guyana? Because I'm looking at my phone and I'm seeing fire and smoke and all these things. And I was supposed to call, I know you watch it right now, Soldier. I was supposed to call you and find out what's happening. And the people who were there, they burned down the whole hotel. Because they said what they did to that little girl was inhumane. I could only imagine they raped her. Right? They also, she had marks on her, like she was chopped up. I don't know what they did to her. And then the morning after, they just threw her in the pool as if to say, well, she drowned. She drowned. She didn't drown. She was placed there because the parents were there the day before, and the night before, and they searched the whole grounds, and she wasn't there. So I say all that to say this. That father, if you saw him on the video, they interviewed him, and I could hear the pain in his belly. And I said for myself, who have 4 children of my own, I said, that is a rough thing to stomach. Seeing your daughter lie face down in a pool like that and knowing what they did to her, knowing that in her last moments she had no one to rely on to save her in that moment. That made me stomach what he was going through. And I'm sure every parent, you look in the comments, every parent said the same thing. They said, I felt like it was me. You need a friend in your corner when the Most High throws these, and it's coming. You don't know what the Most High has around the corner for you. You just don't know. But you're going to need a brother, a sister in your corner who are going to help you to stomach that. That's what that precept is going into. Just to show you the depth of it. That's how heavy that precept is. You see how you're feeling right now? You see how you could empathize with what that parent is? That's what that precept is going to. That's how heavy that precept is. So read it again from the top.
There is a companion which helpeth his brother for the belly, and taking up the buckler against the enemy.
Good. Read on, verse 6.
Verse 6. Forget not thy friend in thy mind, and not be mindful of him in thy riches.
So not when things are just good, you remember that person in your corner. But even when things go south, they go sour, remember that person. And you be that person. Don't just be the person who's going to be like, oh, you're going through that right now? Wow, that's rough, boy. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Click. Don't be that person. Oh, wow, you're going through that? Bye. That must be a rough one on you, boy. But yeah, I got these things I got to go do now, so we talk later. Click. But then, when things are good, you want to be around. Don't be that kind of friend, all right? Give me 2 Timothy 3 and 1. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. Loyalty is essential to life, okay? It's very essential. 2 Timothy 3 verse 1.
Reading from the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
This know also, that in the last days perilous time shall come.
Read on.
For men shall be lovers of themselves, of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
Read on.
Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
Read on.
Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
Read on.
Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away.
Read on.
For of this sort are they which creep into the houses, and lead captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts.
Read on.
Ever learning, and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
So this, from verse 1 to verse 7, are the perfect precepts to show you what's going on with our generation today. Traitors, high-minded, only loyal to their own selves, deceptive. So it's a world of deception. But again, you got to be the light in that darkness, right? Now, how do we know this is true? Truce breakers. What's a truce breaker? You make a truce, or you make an oath, you make an agreement, and persons today are so quick and easy for anything to happen to be the thing that makes them break the oath. I'll give you an example. And it happens in every area of life. You got brothers that come into this truth, right? They take oaths. And I've seen this so many times, whether it's in our school or other schools. Brothers come and take oaths, and they swear to the Most High. They swear, they repeat words. And they say, I will stay in this truth. 2 months after what they're doing, soldier go bar. 2 months after that, they ain't following orders. they ain't submitting to leadership. They out the truth, and now they're just out back in the world. Mind you, the Passover was just like a couple months before, They took an oath, brothers who ranked up, and brothers ain't doing nothing that they swear to. Nothing, not one. And you're like, wait, this brother just took an oath. Sometimes you got to remind, like, you just took an oath? Oh, I thought that was just a formality. I didn't realize I actually have to obey the thing that I swore God that I would do. Wait, you mean to tell me the oath that I repeated, I actually have to do it? Wait. I'd be wondering if brothers thinking, basically the problem is, where did brothers learn that, Soldier Gabar? In the Christian church. Because in the Christian church, watch this. You go in front of hundreds of people, a man and a woman up at the altar. Both of them stay there while the pastor says, are you ready to recite your vows? And both of them say, yes. And he goes down the list of vows and he says, do you swear to take this woman in sickness and in health? And he watches the woman, he watches the pastor, and he says, I do. The woman repeats the same vows in sickness and in health, in for richer or for poorer. And she watched the pastor, she watched the man, and she said, I do. And he says, so let it be. As your oath is before God and before man, you may now kiss the bride. And they kiss, and they thousands of dollars spent. Everything from the floral arrangement, you have all the nice accoutrements, ring boy, ring girl, everything is just looking beautiful that day. Even the rings. How much for a ring these days? Like, at least we spend in EC, so $3,000 US for, and mind you, that's a mid-size level ring, medium, 3,000 US, medium ring, 5,000 US upper levels. So for people who spending rings down here, spending over 10,000 for a ring. So think of it this way: you spend all that money on the ring, and then 2 years into the marriage, well, I don't like how things going, so I gone back by my mother. Hey, well, I don't like how you moving in this thing, So you know what? I want you out of here. I want you gone, or I going. Most of the men say I going. It's the worst thing you could do, brother. That's your house. You don't leave. I going. And then it's like, wait, didn't you just have an oath before God, hundreds of people? The Bible was right there open. Y'all say oaths, put up your hand and say, I do. But it shows you, people are only loyal to what? Their own selves. When something doesn't go the way that they would like it to go, they're ready to what? Jump ship. And it happens in marriages. It happens in the truth. Well, I don't like what's going on here. I can just jump ship. On the river, on the bank. On the river, on the bank. The scripture said being like that is like you're a leaf in the wind, just blowing whatever which way the wind blows you. You have no root. No root. Because you're not loyal. You're not loyal. You're not loyal to yourself. You're not loyal to the Most High. You're not loyal to your spouse. Because if something happens where it's not even fornication or adultery, you're ready to jump ship. I want to be separated. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some things that can cause separation. I'm not talking about that. We already know. Go back to the classes that show you, the grounds for separation, physical abuse. I'm not saying be a doormat. There's certain things that you absolutely can separate because of, but separate and then get back. Paul said to do what? Reconcile. But because there's no loyalty right now, Soldier Gabar, everyone is ready to jump ship at the least moment. Because they're loyal to their own what? Benefits and what they want. Okay? So that's why it says today, truce breakers, traitors. Listen, you got so many traitors. And I be knowing too. I be knowing. When a brother come through this door, I be knowing. I just don't say nothing. So, let brothers come through, read for a little bit. Make them feel like, well, you're doing something here. Do something. Come in and do something. But I be knowing when a brother absolutely, in a couple months, is going to be back out smoking weed, smoking crack, doing whatever, laying with whores, because you just can't control yourself. You understand that, Brother Daniel? Like, when you see a brother leave the truth, don't fool yourself, Brother Daniel. When you see a brother leave, he leave because he cannot control himself. He cannot control his urges. You understand that? He just can't stop laying with whores, smoking weed, so he makes it about something else. I'm leaving the school because someone said something to me. And if you really wanted to stay in the truth, you would hash that thing out and say, you know what? Let's talk and let's move on. But you have to use that because you're a traitor and you're a backstabber and you're not to be trusted. And you're disloyal. And you're only there for whatever vain reason you're there. You're not actually there to be loyal to the Most High. You're not there for that. So we could just weed out. If you were to weed out, like do a good weeding out, you would see, wow, it ain't really much persons who actually want to be there for loyal reasons to the Most High. They're just there for whatever reason. And the time is coming where they're going to leave. And I be knowing, like I told you, I be knowing listen, I was never surprised by anyone who's ever left. You know how I know that? Every time someone has left, there's a point in time where something happens and I'll be like, yeah, that brother gonna leave. And it always happens. Always. So don't fool yourself. Nothing catches Cap off guard. Like, oh, Cap, you didn't know that, brother? Yeah, I knew. I've gotten to the point where now I just don't care. Let's put it that way. I just don't care. When you get to a certain age, certain things don't bother you, right? Soldier go by, you know what I'm talking about. Certain things, if you let it bother you, what's going to happen? You take it on and then we got other things to worry about. Okay, but we know they're traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures. That's what I was talking about. They prefer to smoke weed or they love laying with. Listen, I don't know. We had a brother here, left his school, right? He said he does not want to be with his wife anymore. I ain't calling no names. For those of you that know, you know. If you don't know, the scripture said these things are supposed to be examples for you to learn from. So don't bother be like, okay, what are you talking? You're supposed to learn from mistakes. But I won't call any name. But for context, essentially, the brother left. Well, no, but the brother was put on suspension for committing fornication. And he was told during that time of his suspension, get yourself right. We will offer you counseling sessions so you can get yourself right. In the midst of it, he was so disloyal. He was such a traitor that he used the excuse, well, I want to keep the commandments still, so I'm going over here. And when I found out about that, I said, the place where you went to, the men them there that go on suspension, do they say, well, I want to keep the commandments too, so I'm going else? No, if those men are loyal, they stay right there and they go through their suspension, they come back stronger, but they don't turn their backs on the organization that brought them into the truth, who they know they have to stay loyal to. But what happens is a lot of brothers, Brother Daniel, don't understand the concept of loyalty. You understand what I'm saying, Soldier Kabar? They don't understand the concept of it. Myself, I don't understand the concept of disloyalty. It's not a concept that I understand. Like, my brain doesn't compute it the way others Others is like, oh, something ain't going my way. I gone. I don't understand that. That mentality doesn't compute in my brain. My brain is wired. I have to stay the course no matter what. Otherwise, I would have been done long gone. I would have said, listen, we closing up shop. I ain't doing this here no more. I took an oath. I took an oath. I took an oath. I have to honor my oath. I already promised the Most High. So I can't be like, hey, well, guys, from today, I'm out of this thing. I ain't dealing with this thing no more. I ain't teaching. Find yourself a new teacher. I can't do that. I don't understand that language. For some of you, that is your language. Because you go with your feelings. You wake up this morning, I don't feel like coming to class, so I'm going to just say I don't feel good and just be like, we had one sister in the past. Every time she don't feel like coming to class, she would send a message saying, I don't feel well. Now, technically, it's not that she don't feel well in her body. She later on revealed to us, oh, well, I'm talking about in my mind, in my spirit. I don't feel well in my spirit. So these are the persons who they're going to be out, like quick, fast, and in a hurry. They're just warming the seat for a little time. And they know it, and you know it. Because you could see it. You be knowing when somebody, listen, this person ain't going to last here too long. You know it. All right. Soldier Zakar in Guyana know what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows because we speak the same language. That's a perfect example for you brothers. If you want to understand loyalty, speak to Soldier Zakar. Speak to him. Speak to him every day if you want to know about loyalty. Because when he came into this school, and before he was even in the school, before he even did BCT, before he even started on his soldier program, he said to me, right in the Independence Square, we sat down, we talked for over 2 hours. We sat down, and he said to me, the Lord already showed me in visions and in dreams that I must come and assist you, the captain, in what you're doing, and to never break truce, never be a traitor, never be disloyal. To stick with it until the end. I look him in the eye and I say, you sure? That's what the Most I tell you, right? He said, I'm sure. He said, let me describe to you the vision. He described to me the vision, and everything that he said is exactly what we were trying to do when we started the school. Okay? And if you want to know about loyalty, speak to Soldier Zakar. He understands it, and he doesn't understand what disloyalty is. Now, believe it or not, he's seen many come and many go. And he understands absolutely the concept. Some of you brothers need to understand the concept, because I know for a fact the brothers here, y'all have not learned what true loyalty is yet. But we're teaching you to be better men than you were yesterday. Because a lot of y'all got things on the inside you need to work out so that you can be better men. Okay? Let's go back to I want to touch on something in this verse. Verse 7 says, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. That is a perfect precept also to persons who always say they leave and they put down their sword because they want to learn some new doctrine, learn some new thing. These are the persons, Soldier Gabar, they will never actually come to the knowledge of truth because their spirit is unsettled. So when they learn a new thing, oh, there must be more things out there. They learn something else, oh, there must be more out there. They never stick to the doctrine. For them, every day is a new what? Doctrine. Every day and you could always tell what brother's going to be on the outside soon. Right? You could always tell. How can you tell? They never stick to the core doctrine. There's always some new doctrine. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to come across things. We don't forbid anyone to look at things, see things. We encourage you to see what's out there. But to also learn the core doctrine so that when these things are out there, come across your eyes, You know how to do what? Separate the foolishness from the truth. So learn the core doctrine, but we're not going to be like, we're going to micromanage. Hey, sister, what are you looking at home? You looking at that? Nah, you out of here. What are you looking at home? Nah. Now, we'll advise you and tell you, stay away from certain things, but we encourage you. Come across different things so you could now do what? Do what you call a comparative analysis. You could compare and contrast. So you know how to separate that from the truth. Okay? Good. But don't be that brother or that sister. You don't know the core doctrine. You didn't take the time out to get rooted. But every other thing that you see tickles in front of your eyes, you're running like, you ever see a dog chasing a tail? It just go around in a circle all the time. Can't catch your tail. But when it does catch your tail, it bites it up. You mash up yourself. Stay loyal to something. The problem is you do not know what it means to be loyal. So that's why brothers come in and they always look for that one thing. That one thing that gonna be, oh, that's it. I had it here. I've had it. Soldier goodbye. I gone. No, he knew from the first time he came through the door, he was out. But he needs what? What does he need? He needs a reason. He doesn't want to seem like he's being wicked. But here's the thing. The mere fact that you did that, you are wicked. Okay? Give me that. Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 25. Seven and 25, yes.
Reading from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 25.
Come on.
I apply my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things and to know the wickedness of folly, even of the foolishness and madness.
Read on.
And I find more bitter than death, the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
Wow. So, women, brothers, learn this now, learn it early. When it comes to sisters, right? Sisters, they can be either the greatest thing in your life, or they could be the most disloyal. Now, when a woman, her mind is made up to be disloyal against you, it's like you're going through death. Because when a woman make up her mind that she's going to be evil towards you, it's like, what this woman going to think of next? How she going to be evil towards me? Like, what else can she do? It says, I find more bitter than death the woman. So the woman is more bitter than death. Why? Because a woman can actually make you feel like beyond death, that you're dying. Right? So, what do I mean by that? Brothers, you get married to a sister, right? And you're hoping that she stays in the truth with you and she do what she's supposed to do, be submissive, do her womanly duties, till one day she wakes up and her emotions tell her, I don't want to be with you no more. You're like, wait, why? I just feel like I'm not really reaching my true potential with you. But wait, we took an oath. I know, but I just don't want, I can't do it no more. I feel like I'm doing everything by myself. You don't help with the children. You don't give me no help. The money ain't really been that great. You know, but you got a roof over your head? Yes. Have I been providing? Yes. So what's the problem? I just feel like I've been doing a lot around here and you ain't, I don't want to do it no more. So what am I trying to say? A woman will be quick to go against the oath that she made. Forget all about the oath, because remember, in the Christian church, an oath is nothing. It's nothing. It's just words that you repeat on the day of your wedding. So people come into the truth with that mentality that if you make an oath before the Most High God, it's nothing. Once something doesn't go your way, what oath? Oath? I don't remember no oath. I remember how I feel. And how you have me feel is that I want to leave. I want to go back by my mommy. That's what I remember right now. And you're trying to, for the life of you, try to figure out, wait, is this woman mad? Did she forget about the truth? Did she forget about the oath? Does the scriptures mean? Listen, for a lot of women, I'm gonna just break this down for the brothers. Don't be marveled. Don't be marveled. You have to teach your woman to get in that mode or that spirit. Here's the thing, brothers. Don't marvel at this. What I'm going to say is, I don't know if it's going to surprise you, if it's going to rock your world, if it's... Most sisters do not care about the scriptures. There, I've said it. They care about whatever you're doing for them. So don't marvel and be like, why my wife doesn't want to be in the spirit of the truth? Why she, I read her the scripture cap, but she just not taking it. She doesn't care. What does she care about? She cares about her feelings and her emotions and how you make her feel. She places that above the scriptures. She comes to class. She watches the class online because she thinks that what you expect her to do. But you have to train your wife to actually care about Yahweh and to respect the oath that is being made. If you don't train her like that, she will continue to not care. So don't marvel, okay? Don't marvel. Don't call me in a council and be like, oh, God, my wife don't care about the scriptures, man. And be like, I know. It's women, it's sisters, it's what they do. They don't. They're not going to care about the scriptures the way you care about the scriptures. That's why God called you to be the head, to put them in structure. Don't expect off the rip them to care about the scriptures. You have to now do what? Be the head, lead by example, so that she sees, oh, wait, this man is actually loyal to a cause? Wait, this man actually loyal to the scriptures? Wait, but brothers, when you out here double dipping in front of your wife, doing things, let me see, nobody knows you like the way your wife knows you. She knows the real you behind closed doors. She knows if you skip out on keeping commandments. She knows every time when you're not so ardent about keeping the scriptures. She knows, she sees you. That in turn weakens her. It weakens her, but it encourages her. When you trim your ways, you teach the ones who are wicked to be more wicked. She sees when you ain't so gung-ho for the scriptures when you at home. If you are lying in the house, you go out the road, you ain't on fringes or whatever. She sees it. She knows it. She knows the real you. So because of that, the scriptures mean nothing to her. Okay, I was going through this rough thing with her and then I showed her the scripture and she don't want to. I know. You as a brother got to buckle down more. You thinking that you all the way buckle down when you not. Because you don't have loyalty in you yet. She hears how you speak about certain things. She hears how you conversate about. She knows there's no loyalty in your tongue. She never hear you say, yo man, TOC to the death. Keeping these commandments, TOC till the wheels fall off. We serve in Yahweh Shai and Yahweh till the wheels. She never hear you even utter those words. She has no concept of loyalty even coming from you. Let's put it this way. She has no example of loyalty coming from you because guess what? You're only loyal to whatever your needs are and she sees that coming from you. So how you expect her to behave and act? She never heard loyal words coming out of your mouth. But then you want your wife to be this super loyal. She ain't loyal to me. Yeah, she's not going to be. She never heard loyalty coming out of your mouth in this truth. She never heard you say, I'm going to be serving the Most High till I die, I will not break that truce. I'm going to stay with the men that brought me in the truth. I'm going to stay there till I die. She's never heard you say that with your chest ever before. So guess what that means? The moment y'all get into a little skedaddle scuffle, guess what she going to do? She going to skedaddle and scuffle. She going to pew. God, I don't understand why. Now you get it now. She has no example of loyalty coming from you. She needs to see it. If you want your woman to be more loyal every time she gets into a scuffle and a skedaddle with you, let her see loyalty coming from you. Let her hear words that are absolutely loyal and stand behind it. Don't just let it be words. Listen, man. You want to know about loyalty as well? Speak to Soldier Gabar. Speak to him. Speak to him. The Soldier Gabar said a long time ago, listen, I'm going to stay with the men that I did this work with, who brought me into this thing. I'm going to stay loyal. And because of that, I got a responsibility as well to stay loyal to him. It's not a one-way street. Loyalty ain't a one-way street. Loyalty goes what? Both ways. When he said that, I said, by golly, I got to stay loyal to this man forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. That's the way I'm wired. And when you go into the military as well, they wire you like that. Stay loyal to the brotherhood. Stay loyal to the brotherhood. Okay? Where we at? That was verse 25? That was verse 28? Okay, good. No, we at 28 now, right?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not.
I can't find one.
One man among 1,000 have I found.
So even one man among 1,000 you may find. Come on.
But a woman among all these have I not found.
But a woman among all these you can't find. So you might find one man who is loyal out of 1,000. And I always tell soldiers and cardies, I said, boy, listen, I can't find another you. Boy, it's hard. It's hard to find another you, right? It's hard to find another Soldier Gabar. It's hard to find another colonel. It's hard. You can't find these men just out and about like that. It's hard, right? But a woman, you're not going to find it. You know why? They don't exist. You have to make them. They don't exist. So they have to learn. Who do they have to learn from? Men? Who do these women? If they don't exist, then they have to be made that way. How are they made that way? Tell me. Who do they have to learn from? Who do they have to learn the loyalty from? If loyal women don't exist out there, who do they have to learn from? What's that? Okay, somebody, but who's that somebody? Say it loud for me. The men. Because the men are the head. They learn that from them. They weren't wired for that. Brothers, stop expecting that from them, please. You're asking something out of their category. They have to be taught that. Your job is to teach them that. And for the sisters who are not married, place yourself under a leadership who knows everything about loyalty. Everything. So that when you do get a husband, should you know exactly what kind of man you should be looking for. A loyal man who will stay faithful to the end. That's the kind of man that you want to place yourself under. Where we at? Verse 29.
Verse 29.
Come on.
Lo, this only have I found, that God had made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
So men have been made upright, but we've sought out many inventions, meaning what? Being wise to do what? Evil. And women have learned it from us. But here's the thing. One of y'all brothers going to be like, yeah, we ain't got no no loyal women out there, right? But here's the thing. Even though they weren't wired like that, right? They're wired to be loyal to, like, who's providing for them, who's, taking care of them. They're wired that way. But here's the thing. Because men have been wired also to go against and to transgress. Read it again. Watch this. Watch this.
Lo, this only have I found.
Watch this.
That God had made man upright.
Most High made man upright. Watch this.
But they have sought out many inventions.
And because they have sought out many inventions, women take after the example that men give. So they're doubly as wicked. A woman multiplies anything that a man does. You give a woman sperm, she give you a child. You give a woman groceries, she make a meal. You give a woman a house, she make it a what? A home. A woman is a multiplier of anything that you give her. Right? If you give her love and care, and she make you feel like the best man in the world. That woman could make you feel like you're going to conquer the world. She make you feel like a king. The king that you are. The king that you rightfully are. A woman could make you feel like you walking with your chest puff out. Oh yes. Many kingdoms have fell because of women. Right? A woman is one of the most powerfulest things in the earth, but also for both reasons. Because she could make you feel like the king that you are, but she could also inflict a level of evil upon you that makes you wish that you never feel like you wish you were born. That's how the Most High made women. They're one of the greatest things on earth. And that's why you see there's a song that says, that's the reason why every man, they dress a certain way, they look a certain way, they drive a certain car, they cut their hair, this way. Why? Because of what? Women! The reason why a man want to make a certain amount of money? Women! The reason why he got a little swag and step in his walk? Women. Because when they went, I like the way he walk, I like the way he talk, I like the way he dress, I like the way he act, I like the way... What car are you driving? Ooh, okay. It's the reason why men do the things that they... It's the reason why war happens as well. Okay. Give me 1 Ezra 4 and 26. All right. 1 Ezra 4 and 26.
Ready for the book of 1 Ezra chapter 4 verse 26.
Come on.
Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
Oh, many have run out
servants for their sake.
Wow! Read that again. Says what?
Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes.
Many men have run out of their wits. You know what it means to run out of your wits? Like you lose your mind. How many brothers ever see somebody lose their mind over a woman? I've seen it. Our brother just left his school because of it. He lost his damn mind. Right? It will make you not even consider what you're doing is wrong. You can't even see the error of your way. Right? Women will make you do that, Brother Daniel. Watch this. Read on. That's verse 26. Come on.
Verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women.
Perished, erred, meaning you transgress, sinned for women. Many, a lot of men. Kings have done it as well. Many men have fallen because of women. You got to be better men than that. You have to be better men than that. Don't allow women to make you fall. But the problem is they will allow you to fall because you have no loyalty. The reason why a woman would be even doubly as disloyal because you have no loyalty to nothing, no one, no cause. There's no cause that you're actually loyal to other than all she see you do is talking about, yeah boy, we gotta get this money. Yeah boy, we gotta level up in making money, and we gotta... That's all she see you being loyal to. She never heard you say, Listen, I'm going to stay with the men of this truth and do this work with them till I die. You're afraid to say that. And because you're afraid to say that, because of your insecurities, I don't know if the men them that I would, they're going to go off. Why are you worrying about that? You're saying that because you're afraid. You have to put it on something else. You have to say, well, I don't really have loyalty like that. That's why you will run out of your wits for a woman. And that is why if a woman leaves, you're ready to jump off a skyscraper and kill yourself. I don't know what I would do if she leave me. Because you'd have no loyalty to. If you were loyal to Yahweh, if a woman leaves you, you're not thinking about killing yourself. And she knows. A lot of women know. Listen, this man gonna come down and reduce to nothing if I leave him. He gonna stop eating in a week. He gonna wanna chuck himself over the Island Auto Supply building if I decide to leave. Women know. And they also know that you have no loyalty to nothing. Nothing. You have nothing to be loyal to. And that's why she would be disloyal to you as well. That's why she places her family over you. She's more loyal to them than she is to you. She's more loyal to her boss than she is to you. She's more loyal to her friends than she is to you because you have no loyalty. I pray you brothers really understand. And that's why you're going to see a lot of men, Soldier Gabar, going out of their wits, going out of their mind for a woman. You know what's another way of going out of your mind for a woman? Another way of going out of your mind for a woman is you're supposed to have this woman in submission to the scriptures. You're supposed to have this woman, following the commandments, but you allow her to do whatever. You out of your mind. You're allowing her to do that, to have that leeway, and for her to not be in order, and for her to not follow the scriptures, because she has a power over you. And that power she has over you is allowing her to do whatever she wants. Run a ruckus, as they say, right? The old people say, run a ruckus. And the moment you open your mouth and you say, baby, what you doing? She said, you think you're my father? Who you think you be? And you say, oh, sorry. That's you going out of your wits as well. Because the scriptures tell you what you're supposed to do in that situation. But because you're weak, you're not loyal to anything or anyone. She has no example of loyalty to look up to. So therefore, she's going to be even more disloyal than you. Because it says a wicked woman is given unto a what? A portion unto a wicked man. So stop thinking, oh, my woman wicked, she wicked. Yeah, because guess what? She has no example of loyalty to look up to. She never heard you utter words like, I am going to stay loyal to Yahweh in this truth under the men that brought me into this thing forever. If she heard you say that, her mind would shift and say, oh, he got that kind of loyalty. Well, shoot, I need to be loyal on that kind of level with him. We're going to rock till the wheels fall off, till hell or high water come. I'm going to stay with this man. Because look at his loyalty to the men that brought him into this truth. I got to stay with this man. I'm never leaving this man. We get problems, we're going to work it out. We argue, we're going to make up tonight, and we're going to get back on the mission. Because I see the way he submits to the men that's under him. He's loyal to, but you ain't got no loyalty, and you want to argue about your woman jumping ship the moment that things, because she sees it in you. It's like a shark sniffing out blood. They can sense it, they can feel it, they know you have no belly. You have no belly other than your own interests. All she's heard you say is, yeah, boy, we got to level up and get us money. She know you're loyal only to your own self. All right? Good. I pray you understand. Let's get the book of 1 John 4 and verse 20. 1 John 4 and verse 20. So, brothers, Don't be so quick to. Yeah, boy, women, we ain't got no righteous women around, boy. Even after 1 out of 1,000, guess what? The reason for it also goes into the men. You didn't show and be an example of how loyalty is supposed to apply. Because you know the brothers, we wanted to put it on the sisters, right? Like it's your fault. It's your fault. But brothers, you're accountable. All right? 1 John 4, verse 20.
Reading from the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
Now a lot of brothers talking about they love the Most High God, right? They love the Most High God, they love this truth, right? They can't even see God, but they're out here claiming that they love God. Man, you're talking about brothers in the truth. Well, brothers who claim they're in the truth. Because anybody that you ain't doing this work, you're not in the truth. Okay? So, brothers who claim that they're in the truth, they claim to have loyalty, but they don't have no loyalty to their own brothers. They have no loyalty to their wives. They have no loyalty to nothing around them. But yet, these are the brothers who's championing themselves and saying, I love the Most High God. You can't even see God. But mind you, you're very disloyal to the persons around you. You back talk, you backbite, you back snicker. You be doing things that are unscrupulous. You be hiding sin, right? You ain't bringing out Leviticus 5. No secret sin. But then, yeah, you're loyal. No, you're not loyal. You're disloyal. Because you don't understand what it means to be loyal. Because you can't even see God. But yet you're here screaming that you're loyal to God when you can't even be loyal to your brothers. You can't even be loyal to your sisters. You do not understand the concept of loyalty. Your concept of loyalty is skewed. Heavily so. Because you didn't learn it in the world. And you're now being taught. And your brain can't compute it. So like when we're going over scriptures like these, your brain shut down. Your brain is like, no compute, no compute, no compute. No compute. I will not take in what is being taught because I don't agree with that. I don't agree. So I don't agree, so I'm just going to shut it down. But you're going to be the brother that has no true brotherhood. And if you're a wife, if you have a wife, she's not going to understand the concept of loyalty either. Understand that. She's going to skip, jump, and hop the moment she get the chance. Because you understand not the concept of loyalty. You understand not. That's the problem. All right? Read on.
21.
Yeah, finish up. Go ahead.
And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God loveth his brother also.
To love your brother also. Read on. That's it on that? What verse was that?
John.
1 John 4 and 21? Okay, that was 20. Read 20 for me again. Read 20 for me again.
If 1 John 4 verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
A lot of brothers think they're loyal. A lot of sisters think they're loyal. But what they are loyal to is just their idea of loyalty. Your idea of loyalty is flawed. You think loyalty comes with conditions. Loyalty does not come with conditions. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what if the other person is disloyal? Then they don't understand the concept of loyalty either. If two persons understand the concept of loyalty, they're not going anywhere. A disagreement can happen, and what will they do, Soldier Gabar? If two persons who are understanding the concept of loyalty, if a disagreement happens, what happens? How do they solve it? And they move on, correct. They hash it out and they move on. Those are two people that understand we have to be loyal to one another. We have to be. But because one person doesn't understand the concept, and because they're thinking in their mind, well, what if this person tried to get the upper hand on me? What if this person tried to jinal me? What if this person tried to outsmart me or deceive me? Well, I got to be now 10 steps ahead and deceive them instead. I got to talk behind their back instead. I got to be the one who's going to be on the up and up when it comes to them. That person doesn't understand the concept of loyalty. Y'all get the point? Give me verse. Let's go to John. Let's go to the book of St. John. St. John. Okay, you cannot be loyal to the Most High God. And let me just say this while we're getting that. John 13 and 34. Let me just say this. Sisters, you have a husband. You're talking about you love God, but then you're quick to run out on your marriage, quick to jump, hop, skip, and be out. But you're saying that you love God. How could you say that you love God when you're ready to go against the oath that you made with this man? You are ready to go against the oath that was placed in front of the Most High, in front of people, but yet you love God. That's a spirit of disloyalty. But it's very common, very, very common. All right? And brothers as well. How is it that you took an oath before God and the Most High, but then you go against the brotherhood? You go against your brothers, you go against the Most High God, you go against the scriptures. Let's read.
Reading from the book of John chapter 13 verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another.
Read on.
Verse 35. But this shall all men know that ye, by this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another.
If you have love one to another, one for another. So loyalty is a two-way street. So when you have love one for another, right? Because guess what? You got to be loyal to this person just as much as they're loyal to you. So the love one for another, that's what that's going into. Loyalty is a two-way street. Understand that. Don't expect someone to be loyal to you when you're not loyal to anything. You're not loyal to God. You're not loyal to the brotherhood. You're not loyal to nothing, but you want loyalty from someone when you're not showing it as an example coming from you. You can't expect that. Let's get the book of Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 4. Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 4. We must be better men. We must be better women. You must show the world what true loyalty is. Go ahead. Ecclesiastes.
Reading from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 4. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he had no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed.
You see, you're a fool if you're going to just repeat something as a formality. I'm going in the church to make a vow before God, and I'm going to promise to love and honor this woman, and in sickness and in health, and then, when something don't go my way, I out the window, I gone, I jump through the door. That's a fool. You just promise God something. He said he has no pleasure in what? Fools. It says, pay that which you have vowed. Read on.
Verse 5. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow, than thou shouldest vow and not pay.
Better you don't go up to the altar and make that vow, sister. Listen to me, sister. If you know, if this man get you irritated enough, you want to leave and go back by your family house, it better you don't go and make no vow because you don't have no loyalty in you. But I get it, sis. I'm not just going to put the blame on you 100%. It's because you don't have no example of loyalty to look up to, sis. That's why if you want to see a wife staying with this man forever, look at the man. Look at his level of loyalty to whatever he's committed to in terms of being in this truth and being under the men that brought him in this truth. If he has a certain unwavering commitment and loyalty, right? Submission to the men that's over him, and which by in turn that submission to the Most High. If she sees that example, she has something to gravitate towards being like. That inspires her. So to the brothers, if you want to inspire your wife the right way, dedicate yourself to something greater than you. That's how she can see an example. And it will influence her. All right? But it says, it's best you don't make that vow, sis. Or my brother, my sister. Don't make no vow if you ain't going to pay it. It ain't just a formality, because God will absolutely hold you accountable for it. Okay? Give me verse 6.
Verse 6. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin.
Stop right there. Is it a sin to vow something to God and then not keep it? Is it a sin? Yes or no? It is a sin. Do you see that happening every day in the truth? People making vows and oaths and not honoring it. You see it happen every day. Well, I don't know about you. I see it happen every day. I see it happen every day. Every day. How do I know? I experience it. I experience it. Brothers who took oaths, you tell them to do something, I really want to do it. Are you being commanded to do something that's in the scriptures? Yes. Are you supposed to obey them to have rule over you when it comes to the scriptures? Yes. Why you ain't do it yet? Didn't want to. I'll do it on my own time. You were told to do it expeditiously. Okay, but no one gonna tell me when to do nothing, because you not Yahweh Shai the Christ. A brother like that, so they're gonna be out of here quick, fast, in a hurry. I will personally break you and force you to be removed if that's the attitude that you have. But we're going to work with you at first. We're going to mold you. And after the molding, we mold you, and the molding still can't. Ain't nothing you could do for them, soldier goodbye. You just got to, as one elder used to tell me all the time, we're moving on. We're moving on. If a brother can't get it, we're moving on. It's as simple as that. All right? So, don't vow, then you can't pay. Don't cause your mouth. A lot of y'all mouths going to get y'all in trouble. Y'all talk too much saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Your mouth going to get you trapped up and tripped up. Mind you. All right? But the thing is, you can't avoid it, because you know what you should be doing in the scriptures. If you're asked to do this thing in the scriptures, you ain't going to be like, well, no, I ain't going to do it, because that would be you being wicked. So you know what you're supposed to do, but you just don't want to do it. All right? Because you have no loyalty. You're not loyal to God. You think these are just words on a page. Everything that Moses asked the Israelites to do in the wilderness, what did they say they was going to do? They said, we will obey and do. That got them in trouble, because they had to now hold steadfast to that vow. They said, we will obey and do. And what did they do? The opposite. Just like many of you today. You come into this truth, you take your oath. For the brothers who rank up, you take your oath. And then 2 months later, you're doing everything opposite to what was written in your oath. You stood there in front of everybody in the Passover. You put your hand up like this. You say, I will. So help me, Yahweh. 2 months down the road, because of your feelings and your emotions, you do what? You're going against everything you said you would do. But look what it says. It says, do not cause your mouth to cause your flesh to what? Sin. Read on. Now watch this. Let's get deep.
Neither said thou before the angel that it was an error.
Don't be like, oh, I didn't mean to say it. I get tripped up into saying it. I didn't know. You knew exactly what you were saying, what you vowed to, what you honored yourself to do, but you just didn't want to do it because of your spirit of rebellion. You have disloyal blood. And that's why I always tell brothers, don't be like your parents when you come into this truth. Do not be anything like your parents. Do not follow after their ways. Be different. Be a better man than your father was. Be a better woman than your mother was. Do not use them as an example. Please don't. You're going to get yourself tripped up in this truth, trying to be like your parents. Read on.
Wherefore, should God be angry at thy voice?
God is angry at your voice. If you're talking about, oh, I made a mistake making that oath, he will be angry at your voice. Read on.
And destroy the work of thy hands.
Nothing that you set your hands to do will prosper, because you do not understand the concept of loyalty. You want God to be loyal. God, answer my prayers, make my life better. You want God to be loyal to answer your prayers, but you're disloyal to God. Pay your vow. You made an oath, keep it. It's that simple. Read verse 23. No,
Yes.
sorry. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Okay? In the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus chapter 18 and verse 22. Ecclesiasticus 18 and verse 22.
Reading from the book of the Apocrypha, chapter 18, verse 22. Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow in due time, and defer not until the debt to be justified.
Whoa, this is so heavy. I'm going to break this down for you. It says, let nothing hinder you to pay your vow in due time. Let nothing hinder you. You know what this means? This literally means, if you made a vow, an oath, whether it's to stay faithful to this woman or to the Most High, right? You made an oath. Let nothing hinder you. You promised to do something in this truth, you better do it. Read it again from the top.
Verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow.
Wait, stop.
in due-
But something came up. Read it again.
Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow in due time.
No, but something came up and it prevented me from doing what I said I was going to do. Read it again.
Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow in due time.
No, God gonna give me a pass because he knew this thing would come up that prevented me from doing what I was supposed to, what I said I was going to do, what I promised I was going to do. He says, let nothing. And guess what? Not only says let nothing, not only did he say let nothing, read the last part of this verse. Watch this.
And defer not until debt to be
Until when?
justified. Until debt.
Wait, how long are you supposed to be loyal to your oath? Until what?
Debt.
Some of y'all don't understand that concept because you are more focused on feelings and emotions rather than honoring your oath until death. You promised the Lord something, but you're using all these what? Read the last word. Seek not until death to be what?
Be justified.
Be what?
Justified.
You know what justification is going into? Who could tell me? Begins with an E. Excuses! A cap! Something came up. That's why I didn't do it. Something happened and it prevented me from keeping my oath to God. God said he don't suffer fools. You made an oath. Do it. That's how you become an honorable man. That's how you become better men. Be a better man. Be a better woman. Sis, if you made an oath, tell yourself, listen, if this man ain't beating me, this man is not, forcing me to do drugs, forcing me to be a prostitute, doing drugs in the home, endangering me in any way, and I made an oath to stay loyal to this man, sis, do it. Your feelings should not make you want to skip out on this man. Well, I don't feel like being in this relationship no more, so, whoops, back by my mama. Brothers, same thing for you. You made an oath. You know how serious the oath that you took is? You made an oath. And even if you didn't do one at Passover, like to rank up this, you already made an oath to come into this truth. You already made an oath that you're going to come back to this commandment. So you, in a sense, you already made an oath. There's several oaths you take in this truth. But brothers, really honor your oath. That is loyalty. Loyalty to the brotherhood, because guess what? If you don't be loyal to one another, who's going to be loyal to you? How is your wife going to see examples of loyalty in the home? She can't. She won't. Read on. So he says, do not defer until death, meaning be loyal to the death. And don't try to seek excuses to be justified. Verse 23.
Verse 23. Before thou prayest, prepare thyself, and not be as one that tempteth the Lord.
How do you tempt the Lord? Y'all learned this already. How are you supposed to prepare yourself before you go and pray to Yahweh? How? Tell me. How do you prepare yourself? Let's start this way. So, Gamaliel, come this way. How do you prepare yourself before you pray before the Lord? Do you remember? This is talking about what? Preparing yourself how? If you don't know, you can say you don't know. Okay, so we'll come back. Brother Daniel, how do you prepare yourself before you pray to the Lord? Okay, but blameless how? Read the verse before again for me. Watch this. Pay attention.
Verse 22.
Watch this.
Sorry. Before thou prayest, prepare thyself,
Right.
and not be as one that tempteth the Lord.
Now read the verse before it to see you can see what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Verse 22. Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow in due time, and defer not until death to be justified.
You get it now? You get it? I mean, no, that ain't what I'm going into. Yeah, you organize yourself, but what do you have to make sure you're doing before you go and what are you making sure you how do you prepare yourself before you present yourself to the Lord to pray to him? Verse 22 shows you what you have to do before you pray to the Lord. So, what does verse 22 show you? That's not what verse 22 said. Read verse 22 for me. Let the brother read it. Let him read it. Soldier, come this way and read it. No, I want you to read it on the mic. Go ahead, read it on the mic. Go ahead.
Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow in due time, and defer not until death to be justified.
Okay, so essentially, what do you have to do, which is what you just read before you pray, which is what?
To be justified.
Okay, so, but
you have to be, go ahead.
So, break down verse 22 for me in your best way. Break down verse 22.
Don't let the trials and tribulations cause you to depart from the vow that you made unto the Most High. If you made a vow to the Most High to be obedient to his commandments, to learn, to teach, until he takes you out of this world, until Yahweh Shai returns, we have to be loyal to that vow. So if you're in the truth and certain situations occurred, which they will, you don't let them deter you. You keep your hand on the plow, and you keep pushing, and you keep on working as you made a vow. So what's connected to that vow also is if you have, if you're in an organization and you're teaching your brothers to lead and to guide, you're instructed to maintain your efforts and to not depart, but more so, what's above all of those is to keep the covenant with the Most High. When you come into the truth, you come back into the covenant that was made with our forefathers and that they broke, which is the reason why we in captivity today.
Well, I want you to simplify it. Maybe when you go into all of the, just simplify it.
I mean, in conclusion, long story short, you made a vow to come back to the covenant. What's the covenant? Keeping his laws, his statutes, and his commandments, and the faith. That's the ultimate vow unto the Most High that you have to keep. If you fall back into the world, that means you go against the vow. If you become a reprobate, you're going against that vow.
Okay, thank you, soldier. So, this scripture, it says, let nothing hinder you to pay your vow in due time. Any vow that you made in this truth. It's not just talking about doing the work. And any vow that you made in this truth, before you go and pray, make sure you go and keep that thing. so that you're not appearing to be a fool before the Lord. If you vow to do something, you vow to do it, pay it. Pay it. Then you could present yourself to the Lord to pray. Because what would you look like going to pray to the Lord and you have unanswered vows? What would that make you look like?
Disloyal.
You're disloyal to him.
Right.
Right. And if you're disloyal to him, he can't answer your prayers. So he's trying to teach you something. He's teaching you, be loyal so that I could now honor my part of the covenant. So anything that you vowed to do in this truth, make sure you do it. And he says do it in due time. Now, you might be not, some things is a process, yes. Some things take a little longer than others, yes. But employ yourself to do it, get it underway, start the process, do it. It says do it in due time, but do it. You present yourself before the Lord, at least he realizes you are making efforts to do what? To honor your vow. That's how you prepare yourself before the Lord. So don't go to the Lord and praying and asking him, oh Lord, bless me with this, help me with this, do this. But then you got unanswered vows. What about the thing that you vowed 6 months ago? What about the thing that you vowed 8 months ago, 1 year ago? Well, you could save that for after. I just want to make sure we got enough battery, right? What if you made a vow and you're not keeping that thing, right? Now let's move on, okay? But y'all get the point. Whatever you vowed, pay it, do it. It says do it in due time. Certain things is a process. Certain things are not overnight. But let's start. Just start. Get the process done so you're not appearing to be a fool before the Lord. All right? Good. Because you're going to be one that tempts the Lord. Okay? What verse was that? 23. Read verse 24. Watch this.
Verse 24.
This is what happens.
Think upon the wrath that shall be at the end.
Because wrath is going to come from the Most High if you don't honor your vow. The wrath at the end. Because guess what? At the end of that prayer, what you're thinking is coming your way, which is blessings, is going to be wrath. Read on.
And the time of vengeance, when he shall turn away his face.
Correction. So when he corrects you, that's the time when he turn away his face. His protection doesn't cover you like a hedge during that time of correction. But it's to correct you because you broke your vow. And the Most High will absolutely correct you. Every time you make a vow to him and you didn't honor it, that vengeance will come. That correction will come. He will turn away his face during that time. So the best thing I could tell you brothers to do is this. Any vow that you made, please, if you broke it, repent and go back and honor it. That's the best thing I could tell you. Sisters as well. You made a vow, you broke it, face the east, cover your head, pray, and go back and honor it. All right? Let's get the book of Joshua 9 and verse 17. I'm going to show you something now. Joshua 9 and 17. Now, just to give you a little backdrop, all right, the Israelites under the commander Joshua was asked to slay and take out the Gibeonites. But the Gibeonites fooled them and say, watch here, we ain't really warriors like that here. Look at our weapons. They're old, they're run down, they're rusty. Watch, don't kill us. We ain't even from this land of Canaan. I know the most I tell you, take out all the Canaanites. We ain't even from this land. We're from a far distant land. Don't kill us, don't kill us, don't kill us. And the wise men under Joshua, they say, Joshua, man, listen, we got to consider this thing. These guys ain't really built for war like that. They're from a far distant land. They ain't even from the land of Canaan. Let's not take them out. Joshua was like, you're right. Let's not take them out. Let's read this. Watch this.
Reading from the book of Joshua, chapter 9, verse 17.
Read.
And the children of Israel journeyed and came unto their cities on the third day.
So they came unto these cities where these men were dwelling, right? The Most High asked them to slay all of the Canaanites. Watch this. Read on.
Now the name of the cities were Gibeon,
the Gibeonites. Watch this.
and Shephara,
watch this.
Beerot, and Kirjath Jearim.
Good. So all these in these cities were dwelling there. These were like half descendants of the Canaanites. But the Most High told the Israelites to slay them. Read on.
Verse 18.
Watch this.
And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation are sworn unto them by the Lord God of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes.
So guess what? The children of Israel, they didn't slay them. Because they told them, listen, man, we're not warriors like that. Our weapons are rusty and run down. We're from a far distance. We ain't even from here. So they slayed them not. Right? Watch this. Verse 19. Sorry? What verse you at?
20.
Oh, you're at verse 20 now?
Just read 19.
You're at... Oh, you didn't read 19?
We just read 19.
Oh, we just read 19. Okay, good. Go ahead.
Verse 20. This we will do then. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because of the oath which we swear unto them.
They made an oath. They made an oath. Right? So now, because of this oath that they made to not touch them, they honored the oath. They made an oath before the Most High God. Mind you, they got deceived. These men run a trick on them and said, we're not really warriors. We're from a far land, because they didn't want to die. They understood the mandate that was carried out on them for the Israelites to slay them, but they didn't want to die. So they concocted this and devised this great plan. Let's just tell them we're not really warriors like that. So the Israelites, them under the command of Joshua, they say, you know what, we're going to make an oath with them. But now, when the Israelites realize, wait, they lie. What did they do? Did they go against the oath? No, they didn't go against the oath. Where we at? Read verse 21 for me.
Verse 21. And the princes said unto them, let them live.
Let them live, come on.
But let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation.
Watch this.
As the princes had promised them.
Good. So now, they did them one better. They said, we're going to make you servants. Hewers of wood, we're going to make y'all servants. Now, they didn't go against the oath. They didn't slay them. Did they? Did they slay them? Did they honor their oath? Did the Israelites honor their oath? They did. They honored their oath. But there's a fix for that. The reason why I brought out the scripture is that some persons feel like, what if I'm making an oath, right, with wickedness? Or what if I mistakenly make an oath with somebody who I shouldn't make an oath with? It means you don't have faith. It means that you don't think that the Lord can turn around the situation to still work in your favor. If you honored something to do it, keep it. You honored it to the Lord. Keep it. But have faith that if you mistakenly did something in deception, the Lord will still vindicate you. The Lord will still turn it around for you. Stop thinking, I'm not going to be loyal to nothing, because what if I be loyal to this person or that person or this organization? What if this organization do me dirty? You have no faith. Your faith is down here. It's minimal. You don't really believe in the Most High God. You don't really believe in His power. You don't really believe in His might. You don't really believe in His word. You have no loyalty, and you're just doing it as an excuse to not be loyal. Because you would hear some brothers saying, well, wouldn't God want me to be circumspect and really not just commit myself to something or not? You don't know what you're talking about. Commit to something that is greater than yourself, that you can see that this thing is about the commandments. Commit yourself to it. It doesn't matter about the numbers. It doesn't matter about your feelings and your emotions. Commit and go all the way. If you want to know about that, talk to Soldier Zakar in Guyana. He knows about that. Okay? Some of the men that we have here, they know about that. Stop thinking that you're going to get the short end of the stick and it's going to be bad for you and it's going to go left and all is going to be lost because you don't want to take the L or the loss. But guess what? If you commit yourself to something and it all falls to shreds, then the Lord saved your life. Think of it this way. If you give something your all and you say, Father, I commit commit wholeheartedly. I'm never leaving the men that brought me into this truth. And they go off and then it all falls apart. God saved your life. But don't use it as an excuse. Well, I don't want to commit myself to nothing because I just don't know if it's going to go off, if it's going to go left, if I'm going to get the short end of the stick. You know nothing about loyalty. Give it your all. When Abraham was asked to leave his town and go into a land that he didn't know, did Abraham have all the answers? No. Did Abraham know what would befall him when he go into that new land? No. But he trusted God. No matter what happened, he trusted God. And some of you brothers, because you don't trust God, that's why you don't trust nobody else. You don't actually trust God. Some of you sisters, y'all don't trust God neither, because what if I get with this man and he turns into a monster? Well, if that happens and God dissolves the marriage, then he saved your life. Now you can move on and learn from said mistake and not make the same mistake again should you get in another situation. And now you know what kind of man you should be under. But don't use that as an excuse to be like, I'm not going to give my all to this man, to submit to this man and commit to this man and be loyal to this man. Don't use it as an excuse. And brothers, don't you dare use that as an excuse. I don't know who she going to be in the next 2 years, so I'm not going to give it my all and not provide and not do all the things that the husband is supposed to do. It just means you do not understand loyalty. Once you understand it, you apply it. If it goes left, say all praises to the Most High. Thank you, God, you saved my life. But it can grow into the best thing that you've ever had. But you're afraid. You don't want to give it a shot. You don't want to commit to nothing. You're afraid. Well, I'm afraid, Cap. I don't know if you're afraid. You have no faith. Just admit it. Just put on your WhatsApp status, I don't believe in God. Just put it up on your status now. You don't. That's why a lot of brothers, they're paralyzed right now, don't really want to commit wholeheartedly either to the ministry, to the congregation, to the work of the Lord, to their wife. They're just paralyzed with fear. Oh, what if it goes left? What if she turns into be a monster? What if Cap turns into be a monster? I don't want. You're weak and you do not understand loyalty. God will vindicate and justify anybody who is giving it their all and they're being sincere. He will save your life. Y'all get the point? Good. I can't explain it no more. Good. Give me the book of 2 Timothy 1 and verse 7. 2 Timothy 1 and verse 7. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7.
Ready from the book
Go ahead.
of 2 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 7. For God had not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind.
So that spirit of fear that you have of being reluctant, I don't want to give him my all. I don't want to commit. I don't want to submit. I don't have no loyalty. I don't want to be loyal. That spirit didn't come from God. God didn't give you a spirit of fear, but he gave you a spirit of love. And we know love is keeping the commandments, and loyalty is a two-way street. Oh, yes. We're teaching you to be better men. He gave you a sound mind. That came from God. That came from the Most High God. Give me Hebrews 11 and 6. So for those of you that saying you're scared to commit yourself, whether it's to a marriage or the organization or this truth, you're not loyal and you don't understand loyalty, but we're trying to teach you. Watch this. Hebrews 11 and verse 6.
Reading from the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 6.
Come on.
But without faith it is impossible to please him.
Read.
For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a reward of them that diligently seeks him.
Read the last part again. He's a what?
That he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
So you're a diligent seeker of the Most High God, and you feel like you won't get a shot end of the stick. You're not diligently seeking him. You don't understand loyalty. If you're loyal to God, he's not going to leave you strung out, with the wrong end of the stick. He not. He's a rewarder. But guess what? Go on the opposite side of the coin. You commit yourself to these men. You commit yourself to the Lord in doing this work. You commit yourself to this marriage. You could have the best marriage ever in the world there is. You could have the best brotherhood. You could have the best organization, but you don't know how to commit. You have trust issues. You think everyone is a maniacal person that wants to take you out. It just means you're mentally weak. You're not actually a strong person. You're actually the weakest link. You're the weakest person who thinks everyone is like you, disloyal. Everyone can't be trusted. And again, I'm not saying trust everyone. I'm saying you be the person that you're looking for in everyone else. The right person will attach themselves to you. The right person will come your way. The Most High will put them in your way. But the problem is you have no faith. And you miss out on great relationships. You miss out on good brotherhood. You miss out on good marriages. You miss out on the things the blessings that He has for you. The diligent rewarder of those that seek Him. You miss out on those rewards because you trust no one. Well, I've totally experienced all of the above. And I can tell you, as being someone who's a diligent seeker, my brain doesn't understand disloyalty. I don't understand it. You stick with me for the end, I'm going to stick with you to the end. That's me. You stick, come hell or high water. We could have had an argument yesterday. It don't matter. You stick with me, I'm going to stick with you. I'm wired like that. I was taught like that. I'm trying to teach you men like that so you can be better men. Not men who so fickle. I don't like how he talk to me. I don't like how he talk to me. I out. Loyalty. You're not going to find it. Are you going to be one of the few? Are you going to be one of the few who, when Christ comes back, you stuck it out to the end? You were loyal to the very end. Are you going to be one of those? Are you so fickle that the least thing makes you just want to put down your sword and leave the truth? Watch this. That was Hebrews 11 and verse 6. Give me Luke 9. Let's go. Let's jump ahead. Let's go. Luke 9 and verse 62. Luke 9 and verse 62. Luke 9 and verse 62.
Reading from the book of Luke, chapter 9 and verse 62.
Come on.
And Jesus said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looketh back, is fit for the kingdom of God.
No one starting this work, no one making an oath and going back on it, no one who appeared to be loyal then in the end turned out to be disloyal. You're not fit for the kingdom. Guess what that means? Anyone who put their sword down, you're not making it to the kingdom. Anyone who was disloyal to Christ and disloyal to the Most High, you're not making it to the kingdom. Anyone who wasn't submissive to the men them that the Lord put over you, because that's part of upholding your sword, right? Because when you come into this truth, the men of the Lord show you how to hold that sword, how to wield that sword, how to cut with that sword. You put down that sword, that means you did yourself a great disservice. You had no loyalty. You're a backstabber, a backbiter. You're a traitor. No traitor will make it into the kingdom. So you brothers better learn loyalty. Stop thinking, well, I don't want to come in this truth. I don't know where God going to take me. If He going to take me, in some other camp or some other. Stop thinking like that. Commit yourself and be like, you know what, Lord, you placed me here. No matter what, I'm going to pray hard as hell that I stay here, grow here, expand here, and form more schools elsewhere under the organization that you brought me in under. But when you have that thought, well, I don't know if I go hop, jump and skip and go somewhere else, it means you have no loyalty from the start, from the get-go. That means your wife has no example of loyalty to look up to. Because when she hears you speak like that, or she sees how you act, that you have no stability, no root, guess what she gonna do? Like we mentioned earlier, she gonna have that same spirit on her. No loyalty. The moment something, emotion fly up in her nose, she ready to leave you because you have no loyalty. All right? Okay, good. So no man. Now, I want to mention this. I mentioned it before. Please, to the brothers, to the soldiers, don't ever bring up anybody to me, anybody's name, who decided to drop their sword, put down their sword, right? Be a traitor, be a backbiter, go against the brotherhood. Don't ever bring that person's name up to me, because that person is nothing to me. And they should mean nothing to you too. Now, if you're trying to bring somebody back into the truth, that's one thing. Someone who is a repeat offender and they have no thoughts of coming back into this truth, you shouldn't even be conversing with them. Paul lets you know, disassociate yourself from them. Maybe when they realize everyone has disassociated themselves from me, maybe then I could start thinking about coming back to the truth. The problem is, a lot of you young brothers, you're so immature and idiotic that you keep pampering men who left the truth, put down their swords. So when you pamper them like that, guess what they're out there thinking? These men still going to call out to me and say, hey, what's going on? And it lets them stay where they are. But when you disassociate yourself, it makes them go home and think, man, nobody talking to me, boy. Nobody really messing with me, boy. Maybe I need to come back to the truth. But when they're bigging them up, hey, what's going on, bro? That makes him feel like what? I'm still going to be good whether I drop my sword or didn't drop my sword. You empower them that way. Don't do that. If you're young in this truth, understand you're doing more harm than good. Leave them alone. The scripture says, let them alone. Maybe then, in their aloneness, they'll realize what they did was wrong, and now they make their way to start repenting. Leave them alone. That's the best thing you could do. Don't be on the phone with them. Don't be in the streets talking with them. They have nothing to do with them. The scripture said, let them be as a publican. What's a publican? A common man, a sinner. Someone who's just in the world. Let them be as that. Maybe then they could realize where they went off. Maybe then they could realize the brotherhood was the best thing that I had going on in my life. But they can't realize that because you bigging them up every time you see them. You're making them feel good. Give me the book of Revelation 2 and 10. Revelation 2 and verse 10.
Ready for the book of Revelations, chapter 2 and verse 10.
So let me know how much we have left on the battery. Let me know how much battery we got left. Go ahead.
Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulations 10 days.
Okay.
Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Okay, good. It says, be faithful unto death. Be loyal unto death. Right? Learn to be loyal unto death. We're trying to show you something. We're trying to show you this thing here, you just come in the truth and, I'm going to just be here till whenever I feel like I'm ready to leave. That's not what being in the truth is about. Sisters, coming into the marriage, I'm going to just stay in this marriage until I feel like I've expired my time and now I'm ready to leave this man. Sisters, you're in it until death. Make up your mind now. I've made up my mind. I have to be employed in this job until the Most High takes me out of this world. That's the way my brain is wired. You're not going to hear me say in a couple of years, well, the Most High had me doing that there for that period of time, and now in this period of time, I'm doing something else. No, my brain is not wired like that. I have men that are looking up to me. I have men who are loyal to me, so therefore I must be loyal to them. So it says, have love for one another. Okay, good. I want to just jump ahead real quick. I want to jump ahead. All right. There had some scriptures I was going to go into about the Hebrew boys who remained faithful unto death. They were asked to eat pork. All right. Their mother told them, die the death, be faithful unto death. Don't eat that pork. Some of you, if you want an island somewhere deserted and some pork right there, you would eat that pork to survive and live. A man like me, I'm gonna die the death. I'm not gonna go against the Most High's laws just to feed my belly. Some of y'all ain't wired like that. And some of y'all wired so like screwed on backwards, you would be like, well, God wouldn't want me to just like kill the animal and then live. And you wired the wrong way. You wired back to front. You wired back to front. Okay? Let me just read one thing on that before we move on. Give me First Maccabees 1 and 63. I just want to touch on that real quick. Now that I've given you some context, because I gotta move on quickly. All right? First Maccabees 1 and verse 63.
Reading from the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 63. Wherefore the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died.
That they may not profane the what?
Holy covenant.
A lot of y'all don't know nothing about covenants and honoring covenant. If you make a covenant with the Most High God, you must honor it. Sisters, if you're married, you made a covenant with this man, with the Most High. You, him, and the Most High in a covenant together. Stop thinking it's just you and this man. No. You, this man, and God made a covenant, so you cannot skip out on it. It says, until death. Until death. It says, wherefore, rather to what? Die. Think of it this way, sister. You should rather want to die than to break your covenant with the Most High God. Stop letting your feelings and your emotions take you out of the covenant that you made with him, because I just don't feel like it this morning. No, the scripture says you should rather want to die than to break the covenant. Brothers, you made an oath, you made a covenant, you should rather want to die. Mind you, this is talking about in the smallest thing, in the least commanded meats. It says, wherefore, the rather to die than to not be defiled with what? Meats. Imagine that. You had men who were so stalwart for the truth that they would rather die than to eat meats, but you rather skip out on your covenant, skip out on your oath because I don't feel like it. Well, what if I get done dirty? You have no faith. You know nothing about loyalty. You're not the men that the Most High going to choose for the 144. Stop thinking about, hey, I wonder if I'm going to be in the 144. You're not going to be there. How you going to be in the 144 when, even when it comes to skipping out on your oath, you would rather do that than to be faithful to the Most High's oath. You're not going to be no 144. When you would quickly eat some pork just to stay alive, you're not going to be no 144. You're dreaming. All right, so wherefore, the rather to die than to be defiled with meats, right? Than to profane the covenant. Brothers, honor your covenant. Sisters, honor your covenant. To death, to death, to death. Wire your brain like that. Tell yourself, I am going to do this even if it kills me. Wire yourself like that. Stop always looking for some loophole, some escape plan. Well, what if God wants me to be out of it? You stupid! None of the forefathers them operated like that. What if God wants me to be out of the covenant? Yeah. He wants you out of the covenant so that you could die? Is that what you want? Because it's either covenant or death. Think of it this way. Every time the Most High put us in a covenant, it was either keep the covenant or die. Stop thinking, what if God wants me out of the covenant? Yeah, so that he could kill you. That's the other part of it, so that you can die. So you can fall under the false delusion of maybe he wants me out of the covenant. But what you don't realize on the other end of that delusion is that you're going to die outside of the covenant that you made and swore to keep. Death is on the other side of that covenant. Good. Give me the book of let's get Ecclesiasticus 27 and 17. Let me just run through this really quickly. Okay. I got to run through this quick. Ecclesiasticus 27 and 17. Go ahead.
Reading from the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27 and verse 17.
Just a quick word on loyalty. Read on.
Love thy friend and be faithful unto him.
Read on.
But if thou betrayest his secret, follow no more after him.
Loyalty is a two-way street. There's a way to operate in a friendship, in a covenant with someone that you've made to be loyal to them. It's a two-way street. Okay? Honesty is one of those pillars. 2, not going against the person who you made a covenant with, or you've made a loyal covenant with them to be loyal to them until death. There's a way you operate in that. Don't discover their secrets. Don't go and, as I say here in the islands, don't go and chat their business, talk their business, right? Don't do that, because you're now dishonoring the whole oath of brotherhood, right? So there's a way to operate. Good? What was that? That was verse 17, right? Now it says, read the last part. If you betray his secrets.
But if thou betrayest his secrets, follow no more after him.
Guess what? That person is not going to be with you anymore. Okay? That person is not going to have you as a confidant anymore. They're not going to have you in their bosom anymore. So there's a way to operate. So you got to be to the person what you want them to be to you. It's a two-way street. You want them to be loyal, you be loyal. You want them to not discover your secrets, you don't discover their secrets. It goes like that. I didn't say sin. Hey, I didn't say sin. If there's sin, what should you apply? Leviticus 5. You have to speak it. Otherwise, both you and them going to get tripped up in sin together and suffer the death. Okay? You don't want that. Good. Proverbs 17 and 15. Now, this is going into some of you young cats who you want to know, well, who should I be loyal to? Proverbs 17 and verse 15.
Reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 15.
Watch this.
He that justified the wicked, and he that commended the just, condemned the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord.
So you do not want to justify the wicked. You do not want to actually be someone who's, you have a wicked person, but then you're continuing to be loyal to them. Do not be loyal to a wicked person. Do not say, I'm going to be a friend to the end, but this person, they're a damn deviant. This person is a fornicator, an adulterer. You're not supposed to be loyal to those kind of persons. Stop it. Because it's an abomination to the Lord. Stop justifying their wicked. Well, me and him was just friends from since primary school, even though he wicked as hell. Stop justifying the wicked. It's an abomination to the Lord. Who should you be loyal to? Let me hear from the men. Who should you be loyal to? Men that keep God's laws. That's who you be loyal to. Some of y'all, the only loyalty that y'all have is, these brothers in the world who they're fornicators, they smoke crack, they smoke weed, their house out of order, and you want to be loyal to them. That in itself is out of order, and not only out of order, it's an abomination. Should you have anybody that you're being loyal to in the world like that, cut off that thing immediately. You can't say Cap didn't tell you. Cut that thing off. Your loyalty is to the Most High and to the children of God. That's who you be loyal to. Stop being loyal to people in the world. The Most High going to jack you up because of that. Can't say you didn't hear it first. Good. Okay, good. So, give me the book of 1 John 5 and 2. We're going to wrap it up. 1 John 5 and verse 2. 1 John 5 and verse 2.
Reading from the book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
Good. So when it comes to loyalty and loving the children of God, we know that keeping the commandments, that's love, right? So you can't say, well, we having love for one another if you don't keep the commandments. I'm supposed to correct you if you're not keeping the commandments. And I'm not supposed to be friends with you and be loyal to you if you're not keeping the commandments. Some of you brothers come from the world and you still want to hold on to worldly friends and say, well, what if they did? Listen, if you already showed them the truth, You already gave them the scriptures. Now, there's a difference between having a friend and having an acquaintance. You can have acquaintances, of course. You need acquaintances. The scriptures say keep acquaintances even if they're in the world, right? Because sometimes when you're jammed up, you may need an acquaintance who could help you out the jam, right? But we're talking about somebody who you're going to hold in your bosom. Be very careful if somebody not in the truth and you're going to hold them here. Guess what they're liable to do to you if they're not keeping the commandments? If you have them here, remember, the way they operate is not according to the commandments. So you can't blame them when they double cross you with something in the scriptures. you can't blame them because the way they operate is not according to the scriptures. You're holding them to a standard that they do not live by. So to prevent all of that, keep somebody here who keeps the scriptures. That's who you be loyal to in this truth. Acquaintances, cool, they're just acquaintances. Keep them as that. They're your buddies. You might see them, you walk down the road. Hey, what's going on? You might talk to them under the tree. Everything good with you? How is Sandra? She good? All right, man. Yeah, man. Bless up. That's not somebody who you keep in here. That's just an acquaintance. A buddy that you know from in the world, but you ain't going to be holding him here. No. Because you know something that he doesn't know. You know the scriptures. They don't. Give me the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 15. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 15.
Reading from the Apocrypha, the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16.
Watch this.
Therefore, but the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High.
The care of them is with the Most High. So these are the persons who got their reward. They stuck it out till the end. They were loyal to death. They were loyal in their marriage, loyal to the brotherhood, loyal to the Most High, loyal to Christ, loyal to the organization. They did not waver. They received their reward. Read on.
Verse 16. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom.
They're going to receive a glorious kingdom. You cannot receive that kingdom easily. You know how hard it is to stay loyal even when things get rough? You know how hard it is to stay loyal even when you don't feel like it. Your emotions tell you otherwise. Your emotions tell you leave. Your emotions tell you I can't do this no more. Your emotions tell you don't be a part of it no more. You know how hard it is to go against your flesh and still stick it out unto death. But if you stick it out to death, the reward that's coming, Soldier Gabar, it says what? Read it again.
Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom.
Come on.
And a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand.
Beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. Sisters, every time you're thinking about walking out on this man, going against your oath, going against your covenant, going against the thing that you swore before the Most High God, think about what you will receive at the end of it, that glorious crown. You're not doing it in vain. Every time you fight your flesh, boy, this man ain't helping me with the children, because he out there in the streets teaching. He ain't helping me the way I would like. But then the marriage, it gets better. Y'all get counsel. Y'all learn how to balance. Y'all learn how to fix the little kinks in the relationship. You get counsel of how to build a nice marriage. You get counsel on how to build a nice brotherhood. You don't go against your brother. You don't be disloyal to your brother. You learn how to work out problems with your brother. You learn that when you come to this school. You learn how to be better men. But think about it. All of it when you're going against your flesh. You know how it is, Soldier Gabar, when you get into a dispute with a brother. And all you want to do is give him a piece of your mind. Really what you want to do is leave the school. You really want to leave. You know how hard it is to go against your flesh. Maintain the unity with the brotherhood. Still, be loyal. To be submissive to the men that the Most High put over you. You know how hard that is? That's like fighting your flesh. It's like fighting a battle. Like, oh, man. But then you do that. You learn how to be a better man. You learn how to control your spirit. You learn how to be submissive to the men that's over you. You learn how to not be rebellious. And you learn how to keep the brotherhood intact. That takes work. But don't think every time when your veins frying, when you feel like you're going against your flesh, don't think you're doing it in vain. What's on the other side of it? That glorious crown. There we go. Read on.
For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them.
Read on.
Verse 17. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies.
Guess what? To the men, he says he's going to make the creature, meaning his creation, his weapon for his enemies. Let's go into Jeremiah 50 when he says he's going to use y'all as his battle axe. So what do Most High have on the other side of loyalty, on the other side of staying true to the brotherhood, on the other side of not going against your oath, on the other side of you staying committed, staying the course? That's what's on the other side. A crown of glory, a glorious kingdom, and the Most High is going to use you in his army to take out his enemies. Well, when a man lived to see that kind of day, there's nothing that could compare to that, what you're going to receive. But think of it. All of that is what you will be giving up the moment you don't be loyal, the moment you backbite your brother, the moment that you go against the brotherhood, the moment you sisters go against your husband, the moment you walk out on your marriage, the moment you walk out on the men them that the Most High placed over you. That's what you're giving up. You want to give up that? That would be a very unwise thing to do. And I wouldn't recommend that any of you men do that. Any of your sisters do that. Stay loyal until the very end. Be better men, be better women. Do not let your emotions take you out of this truth. Take you out of being submissive to the Most High. Don't let it happen. You get an emotion today, tell yourself it's just an emotion. It will go away. Stay the course. Honor the oath. Honor your vow. Stay loyal. Because we don't have no, we read it earlier, there's not much loyalty in this earth. So be the thing that everyone is saying there's nothing of. Be that thing. Okay? Be that thing. And with that, I yield. All praises to the Most High. Thank you for joining us on today's class. Be sure to give your alms, your donations, and your contributions. The link is in the description below. Whether you have PayPal or MoBanking, be sure to do so. The Lord honors those that keeps their vows, all right? You vowed to come into this truth and be loyal to, the men that he set over you. Do that. And whether you're part of another organization, do that as well. You made an oath. Honor the brotherhood. Sisters, honor your oath that you made before the Most High with this. What's that? No questions? Okay, no problem. No problem. Honor that oath. Please do so. You can't say Cape and tell you. So, I pray that you brothers and you sisters become better men and better women, learning loyalty, brotherhood, sisterhood, marriagehood. Okay? All of it. Stay loyal. Because there's only a loyal few. Will you be one of the few who stays the course? Hey, let's give it up for the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. All praises. We're learning about loyalty. All right? So with that, we're going to close out. Israel, we love you. Stay committed. Stay the course. Stay in the spirit. Shalom.